Hello and welcome to another video in a community that believes weird is wonderful, and Edgar is very real and he's here and he's alive. Is he alive? I don't know. But if you can't tell, today is going to be a bit of a vlog. And what it's going to be, okay, I'm so excited to share with you, and I don't know, maybe it won't be as exciting to you. I'm really selling it here, Aubrey, because these are my home renovations, but they are essentially some pretty significant changes, especially on this floor. So I'm going to be showing you at least 3 updates. We're going to be doing a little bit of a decor putting up of things. We're going to be talking about Halloween decorating and what I'm kind of planning this year. It is like not fully fleshed out, but the ideas are there. And we're going to do, I was going to say a little bit of a haul, but I think it's quite a lot that I'm going to squeeze in. So it's a lot. It's a vlog. We're going to be going out and about in the house. We're not going out, okay? It's disgusting out there. So I have a lot to show you. Let's get started. Limos. Okay. So we will be talking about these bookshelves here because if you've been following along, you might notice they've changed, to me, quite significantly. But first, I want to talk about 2 changes that are very significant to this particular floor. So this floor, and I'm not panning just yet because I want to have the proper reveal, you know what I mean? This floor is this is our 2nd floor. We live in a condo and it's all one floor. And we have 2 windows and a patio out on this side. And I will show you that in a second of what the before looked like. And then we have a window in the front in the kitchen area. So let's start with the patio area and a little bit of the before, and then we'll get into what we did. So basically this space has 2 small narrow windows on either side, and then we have these sliding glass doors in the middle to our balcony, which we don't use too much because all of the plants that we grow just die in the fire of the sun. But anyway, ever since we have lived in this house, all we have ever had are these 2 gray dinky little curtains. And let me tell you, I did not account for washing and drying the curtains when I had them hemmed. So they done shrunk a bit and they just look ridiculous. And I didn't want to just swap out any little thing. I wanted it to be thought out, so we just dealt with it. But I've looked back in decorating years past, and they've not been pleased. I feel like it just detracts from everything I do decoration-wise and just the space in general. So it really, really needed an upgrade, and we have done upgraded. So let me show you what we did. And here, my friends, is the after. I am obsessed. So we basically got these, and they actually, this is the after, I should say. We had an after clip, but these have clips up on the top. And the ones that they came with, it was just drooping too much. And we really care about the details. We're actually going to finesse that a little bit more. But right now, it's okay. Okay. It's a massive change. They were dinky, like I showed you, little curtains that didn't cover the whole thing. And first off, I love that it's like a crushed velvet feel. Secondly, and this was not my idea, it was my husband's idea, is obviously we went like full length to the wall, to the ceiling, to the wall, curtains. Basically like a movie theater style vibe. Just cover it all up. And what I like about that is, you can't tell that well, but it brings height to the space. It makes it feel a little bit more grand than it was, for sure, with like the little dinky, gray ones that didn't even hit the floor. So this was a significant purchase. I think it was over $500, but they were custom made. They came from overseas. I got them off of Etsy, but you could pick the fabric and the length, and you can pick how they connected up top. So I'm really, really pleased. Every time I look back at old footage of decor, I cringe for a lot of reasons. I always feel like there's room for improvement. But I feel like this side over here, and then what we're going to move to is that side and that window, it wasn't right. But we can only afford so much, so it's a process. Decorating is a process. So let's move to that side and show you the before. So this large window, as you can tell, is above our kitchen area. It's on the opposite side of the same room because unfortunately this is just one large room. We are working on ways to separate that eventually. But I've not been in a particular rush to put anything here. But now is the time. Now is the time. We are pivoting in decor. We'll talk about that. And it just needed a little bit of a Gothic element, if you will, or just something in general. So let me show you what we picked up and get it up there. And here is the after. OMG. I just desperately needed something on this curtain. And this side, so the sun, that's the other thing, is on the other side, the sun hits so hard and it has been awful. You guys, it's just been so awful in this house. We're kind of catching a break in this moment. And because those are blackout curtains and just like wall to wall, it helps to keep the heat out a bit more. I'd like to hope. It's just been rough this year. This side, I don't need, like the sun doesn't hit it as much. I wanted something a little bit more decorative and it feels empty if I did nothing over here and something over there. So what we did, as you can tell, is like this little drapey situation. I don't remember what it's called. There's a word for it. But to me, it feels very like Madame Leota Trelawney, like I'm going to read your prophecy vibe. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's just the swoopy business. I just wanted something that felt a little, I don't know if Victorian's the right word, but that we could afford. So it has this like, it's not a lace, just this little bit right here that trims the whole thing. And then some beads that go up the whole bit. It swoops right there. It will change how we decorate for Christmas, but that is a whole other topic because we used to put a wreath there, and putting a wreath in the middle, at least the way this one is framed, it's just not going to have the same look because of the sort of swoop in the middle. It would be different if there was like one on either side. But yeah, I love it. Could it be better? Yes. But I think there are also ways of improving that. So this one wasn't custom. This was straight off of Amazon, and it was the best fit we could find for like the size of our window. What I might do is get some fabric that comes down because I kind of want to fill this in like a little bit more. And that could be just Christmas or Halloween time. It needs to go well with it. It could be like a velvety, maybe like gray, like a deep gray fabric, something that gives it even more dimension, depth, and fabric. Really, I love a good layering of fabric. But this is a really solid start, especially for just getting it off of Amazon. The rod itself was off of Amazon. I'm just obsessed. Okay, let's now talk about these bookshelves. I did this off camera. I basically, and I shared it in the Discord group, I just took everything down. And if you have been following my Mercari page, it's the one place I used to sell on eBay. I find it overwhelming. But I have been listing a lot of things. Some of it we'll talk about. It relates to Christmas. But I want to focus on Halloween. But because this is like another significant change, I wanted to talk about it. And I'm not going to get into all the nitty gritty of the whys and everything, but I will say I have significantly downsized the outright licensed Harry Potter stuff. Not all of it. Mostly anything that didn't feel in-world. For example, like over here, I used to have like Newt Scamander's suitcase, and it was like a BioWorld one. It was a mini one, and I had the magical creatures, and I put them in there. To me, that is not in-world. What I mean by in-world is, would you see it in the world in that way? Like, as close as you possibly can. So I have removed a lot of that. You know, I've purchased over the years a lot of things like from normally Halloween season, getting decor that just like fits in here. So that's a lot of what remains. Let me show you what is left and what we've done. So, or me, I took the Hogwarts trunk out. I might bring it back. I don't know. These are 2 suitcases that are from Home Goods. I did that. And there are licensed Harry Potter things in here. I guess for me, I want it to read, take this as you will, a little less Harry Potter, and we'll talk about this, and a little more just dark, witchy, in world. We do still have the books here. It's hard for me to part with these 2 because the art is just gorgeous. Maybe they'll relocate, but right now they're just going to stay here. So I did keep like replicas, like because these kinds of replicas, I feel like, obviously, if you know Harry Potter, you know it's Harry Potter, but I feel like they also can fit in to like any world. And so I moved this one over here. This is the golden egg from Pottery Barn Teen. And that is another thing I did, is I kind of removed duplicates. Now the golden egg, more than one exists, so it makes sense, but I sold my Mirror of Erised. I already have that one. There is only one Mirror of Erised. So that's what I mean by in-world. And then what else have we got here? Like I kept the Philosopher's Stone. It's an old aged stone. It can fit into like so many stories, or it could be Harry Potter. Do what you want with it. A lot of these things, you know, that were just from like Home Goods or Wizarding Trunk. This is a replica I'm not going to get rid of. Love it. And it's just a friggin' snake hourglass. Like it could be Slughorn. It doesn't have to be Slughorn. So I want versatility. Here's like kind of the dark art section. And I do have, so down here, come with me. I have a bunch of wands here. I want to start getting some wands that are not Harry Potter too, and some custom ones, because I mean, I love a witchy vibe. And I am planning on basically, I don't love really any wand display I've seen. I want to create a wand display of my own, something that would have like a hook on the wall, make it so that I can easily swap the wand and it's not super noticeable, but basically a wand would go up here and then it would fan out on either side and I could just swap them out, but it kind of fills that space in. But that is the other thing, is I have kind of like reduced the clutter a little bit so that things can sort of breathe. I also brought out the skulls, okay? Because the other ththing that you are going to see is I am a dark arts loving girl, okay? I love Halloween season. It's my favorite. I love spooky things, and I've always gravitated toward the evil, okay? I like to think I'm not evil, but I just love a complex tipping of the toe kind of character and vibe, because I am that person. I will tip my toe in and go, should I do this? I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? We all have a little bit of darkness in us. So I brought out all the skulls and they're gonna be year round, okay? So, I mean, this isn't a full tour, but that needs to move. Oh, and then I added over here, I hung up the Gryffindor sword. And I feel like a sword could fit into any world as well. So that is there. I don't know if we do anything up there, but I do like kind of how that fits into the space. Basically, what I'm going for, and this is sort of the discussion, let's have the discussion on not just like the plans for Halloween, but the plans for this house, because if it isn't abundantly clear, Halloween season and spooky stuff is year round for me, okay? It's why when we unbox like honeydukes and stuff like that, it's just not my vibe. I like a dark aesthetic. I'm a black wearing girl. I love it. But if you haven't noticed, I have also gained another obsession by the name of Haunted Mansion. Okay. It is honestly, it's been a long time dream of mine. Like I have been a lover of spooky things and horror really all my life. I guess maybe the biggest indicator would be like, I watched The Exorcist when I was 5 and I became so obsessed that I found that there was like this diary that they kind of based it off of in a real life situation. I don't know, take that as you will and what you believe, but I found that sort of stuff fascinating as a kid. I watched a lot of true crime. Well, haven't recently, I'd like to, but I love that sort of stuff. I love spooky stuff, and it was a long time dream of mine, and I would still love to do it, to create like my own haunted mansion. And this is not even like thinking about like the Disney haunted mansion, like just a spooky, like bed and breakfast kind of haunted mansion. I just love it. So I have found myself, moving away from just like, how about I'll put it this way. What I want to do with this house is I love witchy and wizarding things. And I love spooky and haunted things. And I want to merge the both. I want to merge them both. They fit in well together. I mean, even in the Haunted Mansion, she says, what, goblins and ghosties, witches and wizards. Like they exist. It all plays well with each other. So I feel like on this floor, I want to really merge that a lot more. There'll be other spaces, like my studio is very much witchy. And then the other thing, announcement here, although I think I've already mentioned it, is we are going to be doing, actually, I've already started and I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed, like I could cry. We're going to be doing a haunted mansion bedroom. And my friends, this is not a Halloween thing. This is a year-round thing. So I'm going to be in a haunted mansion bedroom all year round, all day, every day. I am obsessed already. So I can't wait to bring that video to you. As of this recording, we've gotten a portion of it done and we're waiting on more to come in. But I'm so excited. So I really, really want to like blend that on this floor. And then when it comes to like Halloween decorating, I feel like this year, so in previous years, I've done like we did jack-o'-lanterns up there. The ones from Home Depot, which I really, really like. They're like these gross jack-o'-lanterns, like kind of aged. And they have like an orange flickering. And then we've done like pumpkins, kind of like you would see in the Wizarding World, hanging from the ceiling. I think this year, I mean, I know this year, if you can't tell from the halls, we're not going to do any orange. And typically I sort of view Halloween as orange, but it's not. It's just spooky season. It is what it is for you. And I like doing different things and exploring different things. So as far as a color palette, definitely purple. Definitely going to be leaning purple. There are some things I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull off, but I hope to, at minimum, just have a spooky vibe. I definitely want to bring a lot more lights, so I will be doing, like, where are those lights? I just picked up from Walmart. We don't have, like, a full-size Walmart next to us. We just have one of the neighborhood ones, so they had these. I'm probably going to get some other, like, smaller ones. I might do, like, blue, definitely in the Haunted Mansion bedroom because of the ghostly vibe. Oh, God. Here, let me just point out one thing, because I feel like... Oh, wait, one more thing I want to say, as far as the things that I changed. Another thing that I changed, we're all over the place, welcome to a vlog, that's kind of similar to downsizing. Downsizing? Just making things a little bit more in-world. Up top here, I did leave the sorting hat, but I had a sign that said Hogwarts, and then over here I had a sign that said Leaky Cauldron. We took those down. That was a process to make sure nothing got damaged. I'm not doing that again. I do want to fill up this space. I have some ideas, like Halloween time. Just a little simple, classic filling in. We'll see if we can do that. Actually, while we're here, let's talk about some other changes I want to make in this house, and it probably won't happen this year. And mind the florals. This is a box of florals for decorating. I eventually want to take down all of these posters. I will probably also be letting go of some plushes, not all of these. Some of them are too close to my heart, okay? But the Harry Potter posters are probably going to come down. Probably not this year, because that is a significant, like, blank canvas, and I need to think that out quite well. So there is that. Oh my God, I totally forgot. There is one more very significant change that I honestly could not have afforded if not for you all supporting me on Mercari and buying the stuff that I'm letting go of. And it is something that is going to hold all of the books that I have yet to have read and have been sitting in my closet because I do not have a place for it. Because, my friends, we got a bookshelf and it's gorgeous. But let me show you where and what it looked like before. If you've been watching the channel for a while, then you will know this area quite well. I don't know, is that accurate? Every time I record decor videos, you're gonna see this little nook because it is on the main area of decorating, and it's right next to our fireplace, which we don't use and we need to swap it out for electric, but that's a whole other thing and it's not a high priority. But basically it's a little nook in the wall at the top of the stairs coming up from our first floor. And we've always had this cat tower here, but as our cats are getting into the elderly ages, they don't really use it much. It was really Leia that used it, and we no longer have Leia. We did a video on that, talking about it, okay? But nobody uses it, and I have been desperate for a place to put my books. So we really treated ourselves to something special. Let me show you. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Look at this thing. It is stunning. So we were a little nervous. I really wanted it. As soon as I saw it, I tend to go for all black things furniture-wise, and we have in a number of other places that we will show you. But when I saw the dark wood on the back of this one, it just felt like, because of the wood that we have over there in our bookshelves, that it just like pulled everything in. But we tend to like, if we can afford, to go for solid wood whenever we want to. And they listed it as solid wood and MDF, and we were not sure what portion of it was MDF. My friends, it is only the backing, and you cannot tell. It is a quality item, and it was hand delivered and put in here very carefully, and I'm so thankful for the people that brought those in, or brought it in. But let me show you. Here is our bookshelf. I will try to remember to link this down below. I got it off of Wayfair. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I told Matt, so it's in the nook that's next to our TV and kind of like witchy area over here. As you can tell, it's a little harder to light things up with the gigantic black curtain over here. But look at the vibe, like what? So we have, here's the top. It is quite tall. Like you could see where this meets the candles that we have over here. So I will probably be putting some stuff up there. And then we have a nice high shelf right here. Let me show you like the back. Look at that. I am just obsessed. And then it has this sort of like aged look to it. There's a subtle design in the corner here. And then I love this little bit, just the shape of it. I wanted something that felt like it could fit the Gothic vibe. I love this sort of beveling right here, which also, if you can't tell, there's a little bit of a brown stain to kind of pull in the back right there. So many shelves. So we are going to be filling in those shelves with what, my friends? With these stacks right over here. Let me show you. All of these books. Actually, maybe not all of them. Mind the cat. She loves her a piece of paper, and that's what's over there. It makes a nice little crinkly sound. So we are going to be doing that. And this might sound weird, but I'm probably going to just pick the ones that are probably just horror and fantasy, that have more of a darker aesthetic in their covers, which are also probably the ones I'm more likely to read first. And I might downsize and let go of some too. I've also been letting go of stuff. I have sold a number of Harry Potter books. I really just only need the actual story. And I think I kept a couple other things. But before we do that, I have a haul to show you, and I was going to do it in its own video, but sometimes like creating content on YouTube, it can be frustrating because things just have to sit until you can record them. And I just need to show it to you. That way I just have the freedom to kind of like put them wherever. And I think in the future, as we go out, if I pick anything up, I'm just going to show it in that video. So first up, 2 kitchen items. So this one I got at Home Goods, and I used to have the full plate set of this, and I sold it. I think the only reason I can think that I sold it is because they were a little matchy-matchy, even though each one is different. And if you want to see my dinnerware, I've mentioned this before, it is so spooky and I love it, but it's a very mix and match. I don't really do same. I have one plate that is the same. But I saw that they did this same design. I think they have like 4 or 5 different designs, and it's by Royal Stafford. But they did it as like a bowl plate. So the one I picked up is this one right here. We have a little witch and her cat and her cauldron, and then the trim I love. So this trim is on all of them with the little pumpkins, but it's like a bowl plate. It's my favorite kind of dishware. You know, things like, I don't know, spaghetti or so many things. Like if you're like me and you easily just make a mess, the lip of this will help to prevent that. And what did I pay for this? I feel like it was like $9. And then, because I don't go into the office for my job very much, like maybe 3 times a month, the day that I went in, I told myself, because I had been working really hard at listing stuff, because it's exhausting, it's a lot of work, is I was going to treat myself to one more Anthropologie thing that I regretted not getting. And that is the little like bowl dish situation. And the one that I picked up, hold on, let's turn it this way, is Witching Hour. So it says witching right here. We have the little spider and the cat. And then it says hour right there. I like the little black trim there. There's the bottom of that one, a little spider web and spider. And then the inside is a little cat. So they had two different kinds. They had one that was a little bit more black. And for something like this, I tend to use it for like dips. I mean, I just picked up some fresh blueberries. Those would be cool in there. It's just the perfect size. And because I have so many black ones, I thought, let me go with the white. Let's do, okay, I have a piece on the stairs. That's meant for the couch. Oh, wait, I forgot about this. Mind all the stuff on the floor. This is like remainder from taking everything off the shelves. And Decor, which by the way, let's point it out, elephant in the room, one of you commented about this sucker right here. A number of you thought it was gorgeous. I do too. However, I bought this in store. If you buy it online, they actually show a photo of what it looks like lit up. It is red. It is red. I don't love it. So we thought, okay, let's try out a smart light where we can change the color because the hue of the color will change what this looks like. And it did. But it made it less of a lamp. So we basically had to turn the light very, very blue to get any amount of purple when it was lit up. And I'm just so bummed by it because it's a really pretty lamp at a price that wasn't very unreasonable. So I will be probably going out today and returning this. I'm really bummed by it because it was going to go probably on my kitchen counter. Okay, I have more stuff upstairs. So I'm going to go in my bedroom because it's all in the closet and try not to show you what we've done in the bedroom. And then after that, we are going to come to these books here and do a little bit of kind of decor a little bit and fill in those bookshelves. I'm so excited. So let's continue with a little bit of a haul. Welcome to my closet. This is where I've shoved everything. So let me show you really quick. I have from Home Goods a couple of white pumpkins here because, like I said, we're moving away from orange. So what I'm keeping my eye out for, obviously purple, if you haven't noticed, but also white, black, and gray, and also maybe a little bit of like that blue gray, and a little bit of blue. Probably won't find blue pumpkins, at least not that style. Actually, I have a lot of pumpkins. Let me show you the really massive ones. Oh God. I picked these up. These were a little more significant. This large gray pumpkin with this like swirly business from Home Goods. Is this not reading like a Haunted Mansion vibe? So this is quite significant. And right now I'm thinking maybe in front of the fireplace, but we will see. That is why I wanted to show you so I could start just playing around a little bit. But I love the little swirl. I feel like any kind of swirl feels a little ghostly, you know, and also kind of manor-esque. It brings a little bit of an elegance to it. And the color, it also has a little bit of like a brown, like a little aged and disgusting. I like the black with the gray stem, and it is massive. It is massive. So I got two of those, a one, a two. Okay, more pumpkins. I went back and you may have seen the purple one that I got. I found a white one. So again, with the aesthetic, and I like the opaqueness of this one. It has like a silver stem there. This is glass. This one does not light up, and I don't mind that at all, but it is a smaller size. And I feel like maybe it'll go in this room because I'm going for Haunted Mansion in here, and anything that is like opaque or glass and gives more of a ghostly vibe, I feel like would fit here. I mean, it might still do the ceramics. I don't know. Speaking of ceramic, I also got this at Home Goods. It's just a little bitty white, like kind of glossy pumpkin, like trinket tray, very small. Could put little bits in there. So pick that one up. Not at all related, but you know, you got to treat yourself. I picked up these jack-o'-lantern bath bombs. What does it say? Pumpkin potion. And does it say the scent? Pumpkin potion scented bath fizzers. So I guess we're getting a little bit of a pumpkin vibe, but they had a ghosty one and I didn't super love it. It was almost there for me. Otherwise I would have got that one, but there's a lot in here. Let's do Spirit Halloween. So I picked up, I think I showed you the Haunted Mansion banner, like lacy business, like you would put on your fireplace or something that is hanging there. And I didn't want to do something that's outright Haunted Mansion. I wanted something that is more in-world. So I picked up this one. I do not know where this is going to go or even if I'm going to use it this year, but I wanted to have it. So it's got a big bat right there. And it's like a huge, like the centerpiece is like this huge like bat wing, like just the whole bat. It's really cool. It's subtle. I love the little pointedness of it. Is that a word? I don't know. And then I picked up, I might get one more and it could lean a little cutesy. I don't know. They are these white battery operated, very like opaque looking bats that are string lights. First off, I appreciated that they are LED, although I don't know why that's hard to find these days. Okay, I'm not purchasing anything that is not. But yeah, they are just string lights. So I was thinking either, because we might do a number of wreaths this year, I was thinking either like wrapped on a wreath or just intertwined in a garland. I haven't decided. Okay. Oh, one more thing at Spirit. I mentioned this, I think when we were at Spirit, I did pick up the Hourglass. So as you know, I picked up another Hourglass that is a snake one, but it is green. This one I feel like could fit into a Haunted Mansion vibe because there is Medusa representation in Haunted Mansion. It has this like purple opaque color. We're just gonna keep saying the word opaque. I don't know if there's another word for it, which either makes the sand purple or the sand is purple. Actually, I think the sand is purple. Look at that. It is stunning. It is a nice contrast to the snake. It just feels like majestic. It drips down very slowly. So who knows, maybe it's actually an hour. And then, I don't know, I like how it looks a little like branchy there. That's cool. I am gonna have to be careful because the renovations are over here. You might see my gravestones over here, which I've already shown you, but I picked up this sucker. It is a Christian Siriano mirror. And look at that. I felt like the paint job and all of them were a little bit different, so I spent way too long deciding between which one. But I like the snakes, I like the pop, I like the eye. It felt very like, you know, again, with the sort of tree lawny Madame Leota vibe. I like the base. I like that it's more of like this gray with a bit of a blue to it. So again, I'm looking for items, and it continues on the back. Really, really like that. But I'm looking for items that can merge both of the worlds that I love so much, both witchy things and spooky things. Like, ugh. And is this the last Home Goods thing? This sucker is so pretty, and it is probably going to be like a centerpiece of some kind. So it's a very large glass, probably meant to be like a candle holder, but it has, you guys, it's got the purple color. You know I'm going for it. It's a bit of a tint of a purple. It's not coming off on camera very well. Maybe it looks a little bit more gray. The purple is in there, I promise. But I love this sort of branchy business right here. Then you have the little feet. So we'll probably have a really large candle or a number of candles inside that and make it be a centerpiece. This is the Spooky Night series, which I have seen a number of items that are that series. This one was $30, so it's a little bit pricier, but it's nice quality. I am obsessed. Oh my God, we have so many things to show you. Okay, let's do Michael's. I went back to Michael's. Did you think I was done with that one line that I love so much? I thought I was. And then I saw more and I felt like it could fit in. And actually not all of it is from that line. I think you can see one of them peeking out right here. I don't normally buy pre-made wreaths. Firstly, I feel like they suck. I just feel like they suck and they tend to be hella overpriced. And it's a thing that I really enjoy making, so I'd rather make it myself. But this is the first one that I've come across that I thought was quite beautiful. And I might modify a little bit, but it's already quite full, so I probably won't do too much. And this is part of the Dead Regency line. And because things are on sale now, I was okay with spending the coin. But I love the little purple flowers. and the pumpkins are what did it for me. And I love the lace over top the pumpkins and the leaves. I like a really full wreath. I can think of like one thing I might do with this one, but not a whole lot. And it's either gonna be maybe on the door of this room, which will be the Haunted Mansion room, or our main door. I'm not sure. Oh, and I'll probably add lights too. You're gonna have like a subtle light. Still don't like see the cord, but there's that. Oh my God, so many things. I am loving Michaels this year, okay? It's like, they're like, okay, Joanne is out. We are in, you know what I mean? I picked up this right here. I wasn't super enamored with it at first, but with the discount and the like pop of purple, so it says Home Sweet Haunted Home. And as you may know, I already have a like sign that says Home Sweet Haunted Home from the same line. And I think it might go in here. I'm not sure exactly where yet. I will make sure they're not in the same place because I feel like it's a little too repetitive. But this one feels like it could fit better in a smaller space. Who knows? Maybe we put it on the bookcase. That's the other reason I wanted to show you this stuff. So I can start like playing with it and see what fits on there. And then I got this sign. So they had 3 different versions of this sign. And at first I wasn't sure I wanted to get it. It is this one right here. I forget the other ones they had. I think Beware and one more is I tend to not go for, although I did with another sign from the same line, the like really blocky look to it because it feels a little too modern, but I just loved it. I loved it, especially when I lit it up. Okay, good. I have batteries in there. So before I show you lit up, here is what it is. And I felt like Keep Out is the most appropriate of all of the ones that were out there for me. And I felt like it fits into a Haunted Mansion vibe. This is from the Dead Regency line again, but this one is actually pulling in the blue. And I wouldn't say that's like a damask pattern, but it's kind of close. And so there it is. This is probably plastic. And this has like a cutout for where it says Keep Out, and then you have like black wood. And then the back, we have a battery. So when you light it up, boom, you can really, I don't know if you can see it, you're seeing a lot of light. I can see less blue and more gray. And I really like that because both colors work really well for Haunted Mansion. And I'm just digging it. I have no idea where I'm going to put it, but yeah, that's why I'm showing you. So, okay, next I got this. I don't know why I like it. Normally I wouldn't like text on things because I feel like it sort of limits its ability and versatility. And it is this sign right here, which says Beware of the Witch. And it's in this sort of like ornate frame. And it is a mirror, as you can tell, but it has this kind of like smokiness over top. And that's what I really liked. I did like the gold because we are going to be like mixing metals, probably in every space. I don't mix metals on me. I'm a silver wearing girl. But decor wise, I enjoy a bit of both. Okay, 2 more items from Michaels. I feel like I've just bought their whole line at this point. This one also isn't an item I would normally buy. It is a book box. It's the one Edgar Allan Poe item I allowed myself. I love Edgar Allan Poe. It's a very sturdy box for one, so I like that. Here is the side, and then there is the spine, and then it opens up like so, and then there is the back. But I felt like this would fit into the Haunted Mansion bedroom quite well because it is a mansion. Edgar Allan Poe is very aged, okay? He's been around a long time, and Haunted Mansion actually spans multiple centuries, I think. It's a compilation of so many things from what I've like watched of the history and making of Haunted Mansion. And so I feel like you would see Edgar Allan Poe books in the Haunted Mansion. So I felt like this was actually quite well done and still read a book, because a lot of book boxes to me don't read book. They just read like a made up box. And then the next item, maybe a little controversial. I did get one of the art prints from Michaels. I'm at this point, and we'll talk about this in the Haunted Mansion room. I don't love supporting AI, and there were some very obvious AI creations last year, and I'm sure there are this year, because it is straight up theft from artists. I think, and I've had this discussion with my husband, and this is a no judgment zone, FYI. So if you're in the comments just judging either me or anybody else, you're out. You are outie, okay? I dabble in the dark arts and not afraid to use it. You know what I'm saying? But when I cannot find, because without a shadow of a doubt, I rather support an actual artist than some AI creation. I don't care for it, and I don't like people getting ripped off. But if I can't find art that I'm looking for made by actual artists, then I go, well, what do I do if I do want to, you know, get something to hang up? And this was one of those situations. I haven't, and please let me know if you come across any artists that are very clearly actually making those items and they are making a very haunted mansion-esque prints. Let a girl know. I want to support them. So I was pretty selective. I did pick up this one right here. So a lot of the prints that they had, they were in very basic frames and like just straight a block of wood. And that doesn't read antique-y for what they were trying to pull off. It felt like it just didn't feel like it matched it. This is one of the few that actually did. There was like a little bit of a trim, a little ornateness. But it's just like, it's like a soiree. I mean, they were doing a bunch of soiree items, some dancing ghosts, which obviously could fit into Haunted Mansion, duh, but also Death Day Party, like again, with the overlap. It's a pretty decent size too. I don't know that it's gonna go in this room. I think maybe the bathroom, I don't know, because we may or may not be doing Haunted Mansion vibe in the bathroom too, okay? We are all over the place. Speaking of, the last item, I think, unless I walk down the stairs and I see more because stuff is scattered everywhere. Oh, sorry, just kidding. Forgot about that. I picked this up at Spirit Halloween. So Target, which I'm actually probably going to go out today and record in a completely different video. Target, I know, dropped a like ghosty cardigan that some people have been kind of oohing and awing over. Personally, I like this one more. I think because it's just a lot more ghosty. And I also touched that one in person. It's not very soft. Not a fan. This one I got at Spirit Halloween. It's so cute. Look at the little, this is where I allow myself a bit of a cutesy vibe going on because it's just on me. But I will say like chic ghosts do fit into a Haunted Mansion vibe. So I might allow myself a little bit more of that, but it is a, you know, the black is still leading. You know, I love that. And it is like, it's not super soft, but it's comfortable enough. And it's a nice flowy business. And yeah, it is a button-up cardigan, so pick that up. Forgot about that. And then the last item, which I actually got off of Amazon, is, actually, do we show that? You know what? I'm going to save this one for the Haunted Mansion bedroom because that is where it's going. I know that one for sure. Is that everything? I think so. It is now all over my floor. So let's go downstairs and get all those books together and put them on my bookshelf. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Actually, just kidding. I knew I had more items. And if I see them, I will tell you. But I've been looking for some like reusable bags and I really dug this one. You know, it's just an item I'm using to take to like the grocery store or something. So it is kind of just a collage of random spooky things, skulls, and just all the things I love. It's just like a black cream vibe, but it is a proper like canvas tote. And I think it was like $7. Yeah, $7 at TJ Maxx. So I picked that up. And then I forgot to mention, I did get some florals. So I got more florals, mind my box light. These, because I want to bring some blues in for the ghostly vibe, I got at Dollar Tree. So yeah, I don't know if we'll put those on the bookshelf and I might go back for more. I also got some blue pumpkins from the Dollar Tree too. That's about all I got there. Okay, mind my cat, but here is what we are working with. So like I said, I'm probably going to be sticking to fantasy and horror. I have a number of both. The very brightly colored things, I might make some exceptions like that is fantasy. We'll probably go somewhere else. I just want the dark vibe. Okay, so let's now, what is this angle? Just bring the books over that I think might go on the shelves, at least like fit the color, not just color, like horror, fantasy, and then I have some true crime. So all those things. Okay, rings are coming off because they're getting in the way. Nobody talks about these things, you know what I mean? The other thing I'm going to do, I'm just considering, so the first thing I'm going to do, and we'll just like breeze through it in a time lapse, is sort these by like horror and fantasy. But I'm also going to go through ones that I just don't know that I want to read anymore. I don't know that I want to read anything by her anymore, to be frank. So I don't know who Frank is, but sorry, Frank. I mean, you're a very honest guy. That's why we say it, though. So that, I think that's going to go. I just feel a lot of feelings around that. Okay. I'm going to now, it's just a mix of just sorting the color. And I don't want to rule out too many things just because they don't fit with the palette. But sorting it by genre and then a little bit by height, because some of these shelves, like the bottom one is the shortest, whereas the top one is the tallest. So I think I'm going to like put it all up there, but then I need to pull stuff down so I can include some decor. So yeah, I'm going to do that real quick. I take that back. I think I'm just going to do the whole thing off camera. It's one of the things that is like so challenging with a decorate with me is the process is chaos in my brain and just outwardly. It's chaos. It's like putting stuff up and it's just so much more editing. And figuring out how to show it to the people, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna do it and then I'm gonna show you the result. That's what we're gonna do. All right, friends, it is the next day because these things take so long. And I think it's why I'm decided that this year, there might be a little bit, but a lot of the decorating, I'm gonna just decorate with me and share it with you. Because I don't feel like a lot of creators really talk about this. And maybe everybody's process is different, but mine is chaos. It's chaos. And especially this year, and we'll go over this in a hot second, but especially this year where I'm just moving to try and blend like the spooky haunted mansion and the witchy wizarding world together. A lot of the decor can go anywhere. So to pick a room and go, I'm going to work on this room. Well, I don't know what decor is going in other places. So I kind of have to like place it down here and up in the bedroom and in the bathroom and just all over the place. I also feel like, and creators, I feel like don't talk about this either, is it lets me, by getting, I feel like it's just going to produce better quality, in my opinion, of the final product of what I want to see and visionize what I envision. Because also when it comes to creating content, there's a lot of like, hurry up and wait, buy the things and let it sit until you have enough for a video. We're at a point where we're not doing that anymore. I'm just showing it to you. But then we get to a point of, but basically by doing the decorating, and I enjoy a decorate with me, but by doing the decorating kind of on my own, it lets me see what I actually need while the stuff is still available and on sale and I can go and get it. And a lot of it's the filler. But I guess also I do watch some decorate with me channels, and it's not off the table. It's just, I've literally already started decorating all over the place. It also lets me have Halloween and like spooky stuff sooner and get to enjoy the things that I have purchased and hauled and shown you all, and enjoy them sooner. But I've been paying attention to the kind of content I watch. The only exception is probably Jade the Libra, to be honest, because I just adore her. So I will watch her like hem and haw for hours, but otherwise, I feel like when you're creating content, you also have to consider watch time, people watching the whole video. It helps a channel a lot. YouTube wants to remind you about it a lot, okay? And I was watching somebody the other day and they had decorated their whole house and it was a walkthrough. They had a little bit of a progress update, but it was a walkthrough of their whole house. And I loved it because I got straight to the final product and I got to hear the concept and I got to understand like why they chose what they chose. And I feel like it's a nice like balance of benefiting the creator who's actually doing the thing and putting the videos out there, but also producing hopefully like better quality, actually creating the vision that I want and maybe more. Like right now, I am looking at this bookshelf. It is not done. We'll talk about it. But I'm going to stop right here because I need to go to Michael's. Michael's is getting all my money this year. What is happening? Michael's and Home Goods are just getting all my money. I've dabbled in a few other places, but those have been just love, 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 love what's been coming out there. So I have to go out because I've put stuff out. I could go, oh yes, I need this. Oh, I need this, to really fill it in and have that like, look at what I can do, you know? And I feel like I can't do that. And to try and get all the shots, it's just a lot. I feel like if it were done as a live stream, and I'm totally open to doing that in the future, that's an option for like little sections. But I think because this year, you don't need this whole thing. It's just a choice that I'm making. So it is what it is. And let's now talk about this bookshelf. Voila! Here is my bookshelf. I will say right now, it's not what I envisioned it to be, and it is. It is and it isn't. I also didn't envision my floor to have like stuff all over the place. So I did not fit all of my books on this bookshelf, and I was envisioning more decor than there actually is. And I will be adding more decor, but I'm going to save that for the actual like Halloween decorating. This is kind of all year round. So how did I organize this? Actually, for starters, let's talk about the main event right here. This gorgeous girl. This gorgeous girl right here. Can we get her down and show you at the same time? So this bust, and yes, there is like some degree of a variation at Michael's in one of the later lines. It is like a vase, and it's just not as good. Why did I want this one? Because this is more spendy, I will tell you. It is at Home Depot. I got it for a little bit less on Amazon. The reason that I wanted this is because it is actually in Madame Leota's shop. Which is the shop outside of Haunted Mansion. And it's a bust, like it just like a maiden of some kind. It can fit all the worlds. And I liked that it was white. I liked the pedestal. It brings like height to it. Also, the other thing, we have not attached this bookshelf to the wall. So that'll be a process of just removing everything and doing that because we have to be safe. Haven't had an earthquake since being here, but I don't need to squash my cats. Also, we've got the spooky vibes going on here. Okay, back to it. So that is a new piece, and I just knew we needed a centerpiece that had height. So as of right now, as far as like how the books are organized, please don't judge me. It's very haphazard and quite rough. I didn't go book by book to double check, but roughly, these are just hardcover fantasy. Almost all of these I have not read, and then some I have. I'm a massive Patrick Rothfuss fan. Just really wish he'd come out with a third book, okay? You all know I need to finish reading these. I haven't even read these. So most all of these books I need to read. And then the Haunted Mansion. So everything here is kind of all year round, really pulling in, I hope, the Haunted Mansion vibes. This is also just a continuation of fantasy. And I thought about pulling out the ones that like I really want to read sooner. And I do have some out, but at minimum, they're not in my closet and they're visible to me. So we have the bookends. The one thing about these bookends is when you actually use them as a bookend, and technically it still is being used as a bookend. I don't care if it's being used as decor and used at all. It's getting, well, its use, and I'm fine with it. But when you turn it, you're not going to really see his face, and I want him facing forward. So I decided to like do that and have him at an angle. So, and then decided to not have them on the same shelf. So I have her down here. If you don't know, this is from the Disneyland haul, and these are the busts from inside the Haunted Mansion, obviously a lot smaller because they're bookends. And then this is also a continuation of fantasy, although in trade paperback size. And then down here, let's talk about like what books I read, because I haven't really talked a lot about reading because I haven't really done it in a while. And hopefully this is going to help a lot. It's so cool to just like see my books out there, but I have kind of long been about half nonfiction, half fiction. I think I'm in the place right now of the only nonfiction I would read or I'm drawn to. I used to read a lot of like philosophy and Buddhism, and I love all of those things. But I think in the headspace I'm at right now, this might sound weird, but the nonfiction would probably be biographies and true crime. Yeah, creepy stuff. And then fiction, I mostly read fantasy, and then I want to get into more horror. I know it's like, what? How have I not really read horror? And then I haven't really dabbled in a lot of mystery. I've read a few thrillers in my life, so both of those I'd like to dabble in more. So right here, again, some things are probably going to be out of place, but this is my horror section. I brought my little gargoyle here because he also feels very Haunted Mansion-esque. I purchased him at a small witchy shop that used to be next to the last place that I worked. So yeah, I thought Pet Cemetery was fitting. I don't know. And yeah, so this is the horror area. And then I have this Halloween book that I've been wanting to read. I meant to read it last year and never got around to it. And then back behind it is kind of nonfiction, creepy stuff, mostly, if you will. A little bit about bats. I love me some bats. So that is that section. And then down here, I'm already seeing a mix, like that is horror. We might even have a little bit, I think Jonathan Strange is technically fantasy, or does that more lean? Actually don't remember the whole premises, but otherwise we're getting a good bit of, nope, she's all over the place, because that is also horror. There's mystery in here too. That one's all over the place. And I have this little like crow on a skull. Maybe I need to turn it so you can actually see the skull head. But there we go. All right. And then over here, you're going to see a real mix of genres, because this is basically my middle grade reader, YA, like anything that isn't adult, if you will. And I personally love reading stuff like this because I just don't think there's a, what do I want to say? No one level of book is any more superior than the other. Reading is reading. And I really love this sort of age group of like juvenile and young adult, because it brings you into reading so much easier. And I don't know, I really enjoy a lot of the stories. And I've collected so many, and I have not read outside of Coraline any of these. So there's that. And then my bottom shelf, I have just, this shelf is a little bit shorter. It really can only fit mass market. So I put a little pumpkin in here. And then I have this series. I don't know why I have the whole thing. No, actually it's not the entire series, because I haven't read one, and no, they're not in order. But this is by Kevin Hearn. This is a fantasy series. And yes, Neil Gaiman. And look, we could talk controversy about a lot of things, because like right over here, I have a little stack by a particular author that has really put me off, honestly, and I get it, for people who have been put off ages ago. And I'm not even on social media. I don't watch, I don't read, I don't feed into any of that, and I don't want to. They win. Those kinds of people win when you feed them. Do not feed the trolls, okay? But it has gotten me to the point where I'm just put off by reading anything by that author. And this is getting kind of political, but in the case of Neil Gaiman, I am a believer. I am a deep believer in truth and fixing my hair and allowing, this is why I watch a lot of court, okay? It's fascinating, but it's also, for the most part, where the truth comes out. So I will not, because I don't want it done to me ever, judge someone or make a decision about someone until it's gone through the proper legal procedure, and then there's an outcome. And if that outcome is a pill I have to swallow, it's a pill I have to swallow. But I will not be a part of a camp that is guilty until innocent. I believe in giving people their rights to be heard on all sides, and for facts to be put out, truth to be put out, and the outcome will be what the outcome is. So I'm not just up and tossing any of those books, and I'm not particularly put off by them, because I have adored his writing for a long, long time, and whatever comes of that, comes of that. that will be when that is. I'm not here to judge right now until that truth speaks for itself in a legal process. So I wasn't going to talk about that, but I have a huge section of Neil Gaiman. I did his master class. Like I just, yeah, I've already said what I need to say. So anyway, there is that. And then these are completely random. I've read a lot of graphic novels in my life. Well, not a lot for like a I don't know, fluent like comic book reader. Most of the graphic novels I have read are nonfiction. They're not like Marvel or DC. They're kind of more independent. This is a series that I have really wanted to read. I have the first one. It's The Girl from the Other Side, and it would be my first manga book. I haven't really gotten into manga, but come on, the creeps, you know what I mean? And then we have like, actually, these are all over the place. Fiction, classics. I have read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I'm a massive Oscar Wilde fan. I think he was well ahead of his time and a brilliant person. Yeah, just kind of random things. So now, oh, and I pointed out that small stack by She Who Must Not Be Named. I sold quite a lot, like a few days ago. I kept the original story and a copy. I think I have a couple copies and then a couple books, and that's about it. The rest is gone. And I got a good chunk of credit, so, you know, I could just get more books. But anyway, so as far as like what is to come of this bookshelf, because it is not done, I want to get lights. I want to get like some leaves in here. And then obviously, maybe you're like screaming at me right now, I will be using this space up here. And that is one of the reasons I'm going to Michael's. I'm thinking like pumpkins and lights and leaves, maybe a sign of some kind. But I'm excited. It's so cool to finally like see all of my books out. I grew up with a mom who had a closet full of books. Now, I don't really read the genre she does, which is romance. But you would think that that has carried on. I have a degree in library science. My master's is in library science. I've spent a lot of years working for libraries. I don't anymore, but you would think. And I miss it. I miss reading. I miss immersing myself. YouTube has been very, very, very time consuming. And I'm grateful for it. I would not continue doing it if I didn't enjoy it. But that's anything that you are invested in. It just takes time. And it doesn't mean other things get a back burner, but I'm going to try and bring that one forward because mental health is important and stories are so vital to mental health. So anyway, that is a wrap on a very random video of like some pretty major changes to this space, a bit of a haul, more than a bit, and this incredible bookshelf that I have said to my husband, I don't even know how we own it. It is gorgeous. It is probably the most beautiful piece of furniture I have ever owned. So let me know in the comments down below all of your thoughts on anything that I hauled. And what do you read? I would love to know, what are your genres? Or also, for the genres that I want to dive into more, so horror, which I have a number of horror, but could do more. Mystery and thriller, if you have some favorites and you think I might like them, do let me know. And I'm going to start trying to be more active on Goodreads and maybe update my status. So anyway, that is a wrap on this video. Let me know your thoughts and feels in the comments down below. But until next time, my magical friends, remember to love what you love with everything you have and keep making magic. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, look at that. That's creepy.